Welcome to a new episode of Out from the Horrorbox. I'm your scary host, Dom, and we start off with some updates and news in this all Scaries episode. With a new year comes a new topic also. So we started with cryptids and shifted over to humanoid encounters last year. Now we look into unsolved disappearances. And then we end the episode with a couple of scary stories. Not too many, just a few. So without further ado, this is going to be a pretty stuffed episode. Let's grab a bowl of all Scaries. So to start off with some updates, guys, thank you all for sticking with me if you have been or you haven't been. I took a month off to just kind of reorganize, get things together, kind of get ahead of myself for things. So I'll probably do that every year. I kind of did that last year. I did it this year. So I'll probably do that next year too. It'll probably be the beginning of the year, like where it's kind of slow. Nothing really crazy is happening, and nothing too much is going on. Not too much news. Not too much new movies. New this, new that. Everyone's getting ready for the year to start, or to start coming. So I'll probably do that. I'm gonna start doing Twitch or YouTube next month. I'm getting ready to start doing that. I gotta figure everything out. I'm still working on everything. Hopefully we'll have some videos on YouTube more than just the podcast. It'll be like videos specifically for YouTube. Some that might be YouTube and the podcast. So I might do like some that are like podcast audio also. But if you want to enjoy like the actual video, go to YouTube to check it out. But besides that, everything's chugging along again. I'm starting to post again on Instagram, on Threads. I want to start posting into TikTok again since TikTok's still around. It seems like it's not going anywhere now. Even though I had posted the last episode or the last video I posted was saying kind of goodbye, but hopefully we can get back to doing that. Yeah, pretty much. This is just kind of full steam ahead for the new year, and we'll get some new things going this year. Some exciting things. Hopefully, we'll be able to do maybe I'll go to some cons and check those out. Maybe I'll start expanding into some video games. Maybe I know I want to start doing some tabletop games. Filming some of that. I don't know. It's going to be a lot of stuff moving ahead. I just want to try to expand here and there. So that's pretty much going to be it for now for the updates. There's not really too much more. So let's just move on to the news.
This is the fucking news.
The cast for FX and Hulu's highly anticipated series Alien Earth continues to expand, and Deadline has reported that 11 new actors joined the show in guest starring roles. Latest additions include Rika Morjani, probably not pronouncing that right. I'm probably going to mispronounce a lot of names. Karen Aldridge, Enzo Clinty, Max Reinhardt, Amir Boutros, Victoria Masoma, Tom Moya, Andy Yu, Michael Smiley, Jamie Bisping, and Tanapol Chursurd. I can't pronounce that last name. I'm sorry. But they just enjoy. They're just gonna join an already impressive ensemble cast, which features Sydney Chandler, Babao Cisse, Jonathan Ajay, Arana James, Lily Newmark, and Timothy Oliphant, it looks like, is going to be in this too. So, I mean, there's already a lot of people in this. They come from a wide range of different films and shows like Good Omens, Mandy, The Crown, Midsummer Murders, Severance, Wonder Woman 19. Okay, so maybe not all great, but they all come from different places here and there. So hopefully, with a stacked cast like this, it'll be pretty good. And it's set to premiere this summer, 2025. It marks the Alien franchise first foray into television and its first installment, which is going to be set. This is going to be a prequel, I guess, to Prometheus. I think it takes place in the year 2120. So it just predates the events of the original Alien film, and FX has teased that the show will deliver a scary thrill ride set not too far in the future here on Earth. It's created by Noah Hawley, who did Fargo and Legion, which Fargo I watched up until I watched the first 3 seasons, and all 3 of them were fantastic. The first season was amazing. The second season was awesome. I loved the second season. Was actually probably my favorite one. The series explores the rise of the infamous Weyland-Yutani Corporation and the cutthroat competition among corporations to develop advanced android technology. The story unfolds in a world where 5 mega corporations, Prodigy, Weyland-Yutani, Lynch, Dynamic, and Threshold, wield power rivaling that of nations. Their technological advancements promise a brighter future, but that promise is shattered when a mysterious spacecraft crashes on Earth. A young woman and a group of tactical soldiers are drawn into the chaos, making a discovery that brings them face to face with humanity's greatest threat. So, with a stellar cast, gripping premise, and the creative vision of Noah Hawley, Alien Earth is shaping up to be a much-watched addition in the Alien universe. And fans of the franchise and newcomers alike can look forward to fresh, earthbound take on the sci-fi horror saga when the series premieres 2025, especially because, they kind of had teased it since the third one that they were going to get to Earth eventually. And then the third one came out, didn't happen. And then the resurrection happened, and you kind of get a little tease of it at the end if you've seen Resurrection. Prometheus, they start off on Earth, obviously, and then they leave separate, or well, not separate from in the universe, but like on a whole nother like mining planet outside of Earth. So we still don't even get to see Earth there. Oh wait, there's Covenant also. I always forget about Covenant. But yeah, that one neither. Also, so this is actually going to be our first look at how Earth looks and interacting with the corporations and everything on Earth for like the first time in the franchise. Well, because also, I mean, I guess you might be able to count if you want. Well, it's not canonical to the actual Alien series, Alien versus Predator, so you can't really count those either. So yeah, can't wait for that. 5 years after John Krasinski directed A Quiet Place Part 2, the franchise has expanded with last year's spinoff, 2024's A Quiet Place Day 1, and there's a video game, Quiet Place The Road Ahead, and proving its appeal extends beyond the Abbott family and even beyond the movies. So now, though, the focus shifts to A Quiet Place Part 3, which will continue the Abbott family story. Producer Brad Fuller recently provided an update in an interview with The Direct, signaling progress on the project, with the franchise already grossing $900 million worldwide across 3 installments. Part 3 is expected to push the series past the $1 billion mark. Emily Blunt is set to reprise her role, keeping fans eager for more of the Abbott family's harrowing journey in the post-apocalyptic world. And honestly, can't wait to see the third one, because I think the first one was fine. I think I spoke about it on here. It's fine. It's not great. I liked it when I didn't get to see it when it first came out. I actually didn't see it when it first came out. It took me quite a while to see it. When I finally saw it, I was like, oh yeah, it's pretty good. Then I saw it in time for the second one to come out. I saw the second one and I was like, yeah, see, like this one's better. It has like I felt like there was more stakes in that one. Like it was a lot crazier in that one. The second one's a little bit better. And then I heard about Quiet Place day one, and I was like, oh boy, they're really like getting to the bottom of the barrel here, aren't they? And then I saw it, and I was like, oh my god, this is probably even better than that. This was better than the second one. This is actually the best one. And it's crazy that this like spinoff. Well, I don't think it's crazy. I think what makes it work more is that like we shift away from the characters we already know, so we're learning about someone new, someone fresh, someone. And Lupita Nyong'o obviously is amazing, amazing actress, and just and having like a more darker, I guess, like backstory for a character, and like where it's like, man, she like in the end, she was like she self sacrifices herself because spoiler, because she already knows she's gonna die, so it just makes it that much sad. And like it's just a very like sad movie. So sad. Why so sad? It's so good though, but so sad. And so I want to see where the third one goes with this. And maybe they could do like another spinoff. I honestly, if they just stuck with spinoffs from now on, I think it would probably be pretty good. I think maybe doing the third one to cap it all off, which I think they're expecting to do with this third one. The third one will be the last one with the Abbott family, John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, because we already got to see where it started in the second one with them. So where they go for this third one, who knows? But also like I don't know. I feel like it could be pretty good. Maybe just after this is done, start focusing on like just doing some more spin-offs. And you just tell like these different parts of the you could even do like different parts of the world and show like, hey, like this place here, it was not as rural but not as big city, and it was harder or easier for people to like hide or something. I don't know. So there's more people. There's actually more people, or maybe like some people figured out how to beat them earlier or something. I don't know. There's so many different things you could do. But yeah, I can't wait for this. So we got an update on Fear Street Prom Queen. R.L. Stine, the legendary author behind the beloved Goosebumps and Fear Street series, made a special appearance in a short video for IGN Fan Fest that was back in February the 24th to the 28th, earlier this year, to reveal the release date for the next installment in the Fear Street saga, because we had three back to back come out. Oh man, now it was a while ago because I think it was right when the pandemic hit. I don't remember honestly, but the Fear Street Prom Queen, which is a infamous novel. I think that's the first one by in his Fear Street series. Actually, the books with most people. This is what Stein teased with his signature wit. Most people would say killing teenagers is not a good thing, but here I am, and here you are for another chapter of Fear Street. The video then unveiled the film's release date, which is going to be May 23rd this year, May 23, 2025. The official synopsis says, sets the stage for a chilling prom night. Prom season at Shady High is underway, and the school's wolf pack of it girls is busy with its usual sweet and vicious campaigns for the crown. But when a gutsy outsider is unexpectedly nominated to the court, and the other girls start mysteriously disappearing, the class of '88 is suddenly in for one hell of a prom night. It's directed by Matt Palmer, and it's gonna have a talented ensemble cast, including India Fowler, Susanna Sun, Fina Straza, David. Yeah, God, man, why do people's last names have to be so difficult? Ikano, Alla Rubin, Chris Klein, Lily Taylor, and Catherine Watterson. I love Catherine Watterson. The film will premiere on Netflix on May 23rd, 2025, like I said, promising another thrilling and terrifying chapter in the Fear Street universe. Fans of the series can look forward to a mix of 80s nostalgia, suspense, and the kind of spine-tingling horror that only R.L. Stine can deliver. And I can't wait because I've been waiting for another installment of Fear Street because it was crazy. Like, they really, I think it was, was it 3 months, over the course of 3 months, I think they did May, June, July. Or no, wait. No, it was over the course of over 3 weeks. That's right. And I think it was, God, I want to say now, like, what was it? It was like 2020 that it came out. It's been a while since those 3 films came out, but it was like 1994, and then 1978, and then 1666. All 3 of them were amazing films, and I can't wait to review them. I'll probably review them by then. By the time we get to May, which is only now 2 months away. Crazy. So we'll get there in time for the films to come out. For this film to come out. So yeah, I mean, especially because they were such great films. Like especially 1970. The second one was actually my favorite one. But they were just such callbacks to like slasher films and just other horror films, and they just did a great job with like these 3 films and everything, and can't wait to see what they do with Prom Queen. Hopefully it's good enough and they can keep this up. I would like for them to start to cross over, maybe we get to see a character or 2 from Fear Street, the first 3 in this one, or maybe you know what I mean, or something. I'd love to see that, but who knows with this stuff? It might be this one and then that's it because people didn't like it, or just don't feel like continuing it. I don't know. Things always happen. It's always upsetting. So after 2 decades, 10 films, and over a $1 billion gross worldwide, the Saw franchise remains one of horror's most iconic and enduring series. However, it seems Jigsaw may have set his final trap. According to a verified source close to the production of Saw 11, Jesus Christ, we're on Saw 11 already? God damn it. The franchise is totally dead and 100% over, with no movement on new projects for nearly a year. This comes despite the commercial and critical success of 2023's Saw X, which initially led to the announcement of Saw 11 with a September 27, 2024 release date. Director Kevin Guttert and writers Patrick Melton and Marcus Dunstan were set to return alongside Tobin Bell, Shawnee Smith, and Custis Mandelar. Wow, what's his name? Mandelar? Whatever. However, the release date was pushed to September 26th of this year, and production stalled due to internal conflicts between producers. Don't you just love producers and studios? Always making it difficult to get films that we actually like and things that we'd actually want to see. The source claims that in January 2024, everything went sideways as producers clashed with one trying to move forward and the others putting up roadblocks. Lionsgate, the studio behind the franchise, reportedly lacked the leadership to mediate the dispute. As a result, Saw 11 is effectively canceled, leaving numerous plot threads unresolved and fans without a proper conclusion. The insider suggests that the franchise might be sold to another studio, but if so, would likely start over rather than continue the existing storyline. In the end, the source concludes greed and ego won, leaving the future of Saw in limbo. Will Jigsaw rise again, or is it truly game over? Or as Jigsaw said, game over. Yeah, that's that. See, to me, okay, I'm not a huge Saw fan. I got to like maybe the fourth one. The third one was actually my favorite. But I did watch reviews of them. I have watched reviews of all of them. Um, I mean, I kind of get the gist of what's going on. I know a lot of them are just prequels to the original story because they killed off Jigsaw in the third one is when he dies. So it's like you really had to go back for to tell any kind of story. And it's weird because it's like Tobin Bell gets older and older as further we go back. Whatever. It's like he's like, hey, it's like that meme with Steve Buscemi. He's like, what up, other fellow children or whatever, where he's like trying to be like a kid in high school. Like that's what Tobin Bell's gonna be eventually. But that kind of but for any kind of production, any kind of movie, like that does kind of suck, especially when the last one you gave us, like I said, had great commercial and critical success. People, fans and critics, it sounds like, liked it enough that they were like, okay, let's get another one in. And it just sucks when like these producers, they can't agree on things because this one wants that, this one wants this, and it's ridiculous that that eventually leads to people. I mean, these are people out of work, like people who were working, who they promised like we're gonna get this all together. That's a lot of like people you're telling like F you to. And I mean, because that's just besides like the director, the actors. This is like people who put up the lights, the people who help move equipment. These are the people who feed people. These are the people who they set up, they build a lot of the sets. It's like besides like the post production too. This is just the production. It's just kind of upsetting when like these people who are quote unquote in charge are able to like take away from so many people. And I get it, you don't want to just put your money into something and then like it's not good. You want it to be good, but a lot of times it's like it doesn't even end up being good when you put your money into it and you have what your say in it anyways. So why don't you just let them be a little bit? If they let the creatives be creative, I feel like that's when it would work out best for everybody. But we'll just have to see. Maybe Saw might come to life later. Maybe they'll get started again on this, and maybe they'll be able to salvage some things. But who knows? I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a huge Saw fan, but it just sucks when like people put all this time and effort, especially when you're not just the people making it, but the people watching it too. Like this is the 11th Saw film. It's just like you were watching it. It's like they put a lot of time and effort into this. So yeah, sucks. There's a front door ajar, an abandoned car on the side of the road, and a last call cut off. We hope that when someone disappears, we will not only find, but also understand the circumstances around how they came to be missing. In rare instances, people seem to disappear into thin air. It seems strange that as we have progressed and it seems harder to fall off the grid, these disappearances still happen from time to time all across the globe. Come along as we dive into the disappearances of family, friends, and neighbors. Harold, and I'm probably going to butcher this, Iguila Degree, married on Valentine's Day in 1988. A year later, they welcomed their son, O'Brien, followed by their daughter, Asha. Asha? I'm sorry, I'm probably mispronouncing that as well. In 1990. The family lived in a quiet residential neighborhood on Oakcrest Drive, nestled in a rural area north of Shelby, North Carolina, just west of Charlotte. Both parents worked nearby. Harold as a dock loader and Aquila as at Kauai America Manufacturing, where she helped build pianos. Their children were often home alone after school, expected to complete their homework by the time their parents returned. The Degrees were deeply protective of their children, shielding them from outside influences and centering their lives around family, church, and school. They didn't own a computer, as Aquila later explained in a 2013 interview with Jet. Every time he turned on the TV, there was some pedophile luring a child away from the internet. Asha described as shy and cautious, seemed content with the boundaries her parents set. She was scared to death of dogs, Aquila recalled. I never thought she would go out of the house. In February 2000, Asha was a fourth grader at Fallston Elementary School. On Friday, February 11, the school was closed for a 3-day weekend, but the Degrees still had work. The children spent the day at their aunt's house and later attended basketball practice. The next day, Asha's team lost its first game of the season. Asha, the team's star point guard, fouled out and was visibly upset, crying with her teammates. However, she seemed to recover by the time she watched her brother's game later that afternoon. On Sunday, February 13th, the family attended church and returned home. Around 8 p.m., Asha and O'Brien went to bed in their shared room. An hour later, a car accident caused a power outage in the neighborhood. When the power returned at 12:30 a.m., Harold checked on the children and saw both asleep. He checked again at 2:30 a.m. before going to bed himself. Sometime after that, O'Brien, then 10, heard Asha's bed squeak, but assumed she was simply shifting in her sleep. Unbeknownst to him, Asha had gotten up, grabbed a pre-packed book bag containing clothes and personal items, and left the house. Between 3:45 and 4:15 a.m., 2 drivers reported seeing a small girl walking south along Highway 18, near its junction with Highway 180. She was wearing a long-sleeved white t-shirt and white pants. One driver, concerned by the sight of a child alone in the rain at such an hour, turned his car around. He circled the area 3 times, only to see the girl run into the woods and disappear. The sightings were reported to police after news of Asha's disappearance broke. Aquila woke up at 5:45 to prepare the children for school. When she entered their room, O'Brien was in bed, but Asha was gone. A frantic search of the house and cars yielded no sign of her. Aquila called Harold, who suggested Asha might have gone to his mother's house across the street. When she wasn't there, Aquila panicked. That's when I went into panic mode, she recalled. I heard a car next door. I put shoes on and ran outside. She called her mother, who urged her to contact the police. By 6:40 a.m., officers arrived at the scene. Police dogs failed to pick up Asha's scent, and a neighborhood-wide search turned up nothing except a mitten that didn't belong to her. Friends, family, and neighbors joined the effort, while local clergy offered support. The only clues found in the initial search were candy wrappers, a pencil, a green marker, and a yellow hair bow, discovered in a shed near where Asha had been seen. A photograph of an unidentified black girl was found. As the days passed, the search expanded. Flyers were posted, and over 300 leads were investigated, but none yielded substantial results. On February 22nd, Sheriff Dan Crawford announced that the FBI and North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation had joined the case. Investigators believed Asha had planned her departure, as she had taken her favorite clothing, including a pair of blue jeans with a red stripe. However, they struggled to explain why a shy, well-behaved 9-year-old would run away. The case gained national attention, with the degrees appearing on The Montel Williams Show, America's Most Wanted, and The Oprah Winfrey Show. In March 2000, a billboard featuring Asha's image was erected along Highway 18. In May 2001, stock car driver Travis Kilson displayed her picture on his car during a televised race, hoping to generate leads. In August 2001, Asha's book bag was discovered during a construction project in Burke County, about 26 miles north of Shelby. Wrapped in 2 black trash bags, it contained her name, her phone number, along with a copy of Dr. Seuss's Mick Elliot's Pool and a New Kids on the Block t-shirt, items that didn't belong to her. The FBI analyzed the bag, but has not publicly shared the results. Over the years, leads came and went. In 2004, an inmate's tip led to a fruitless excavation in Lawndale. In 2005, Asha's image was featured in the vehicles of 2 North Carolina companies. The degrees also established a scholarship in her name and organized an annual walk to raise awareness. In 2015, the FBI announced a $25,000 reward for information leading to Asha's discovery. A year later, they revealed a potential lead. Asha may have been seen getting into a dark green 1970s Lincoln Continental Mark IV or Ford Thunderbird near Highway 18. In 2017, the FBI's Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team joined the investigation, conducting hundreds of interviews. In 2018, investigators appealed for information about the Dr. Seuss book and the t-shirt found in Asha's book bag. In 2020, an inmate's claim led to another dead end. Then, in September 2024, the search warrant was executed based on physical evidence. While no remains were found, a green 1964 AMC Rambler and other items were seized. Authorities believe Asha was a homicide victim and that her body had been concealed. Asha's case remains unsolved, but her family continues to hope for answers. I fully expect her to walk through the door, Gula said. Despite the years of uncertainty, the degrees remain determined to keep Asha's memory alive and find the truth about what happened to their daughter. For all of human history, we have lived with people disappearing in strange and unexplainable ways. Sometimes they are easy to solve, other times they will puzzle us till the day we disappear. There are multiple sides to every story, and even if the explanation is sometimes mundane, there are so many things out there that we still don't know and will still remain unknown. So remember to keep your eyes open and check every shadow. To end things off, we've got some scary stories. So shut all the lights off, lay out in bed, and let's get spooked. My wife was out of town for work, and I was in bed. Around 1 a.m., my son came down in bed. I barely woke up. Then later on in the night, I heard the bedroom door open and close. I woke up and saw a young girl wearing a red sweater and shoulder-length brown hair walk across the end of my bed. I specifically remember seeing her reflection in the mirror. I thought it was my daughter also coming down to get into our bed. She sometimes sleepwalks too. I looked at the clock and it was about 3 a.m. I watched the girl walk across the end of my bed and start to walk to our bathroom. She then stood in the doorway. So I called out my daughter's name to no response. The girl then started to slowly lift her arms up from her sides until they were sticking straight out to the sides. I said my daughter's name again, and at this point I figured she was sleepwalking, but the girl just stood there with her arms out to her sides motionless. So I yelled my daughter's name again, loud enough that my son woke up. He jumped up and saw the girl as well. I got up and flicked on the light, and there was nothing there. Walked upstairs and saw my daughter was still in her bed. Came back downstairs looking around, and I was standing where the girl was standing, and the floor was warm. Like really noticeably warm on the tile. Got back in bed and laid there for a good 45 minutes before I fell back asleep. The next morning, I asked my son about what happened last night to see if he remembered it or if it was all a dream. He said he remembered waking up and seeing his sister standing in the doorway wearing a red sweater. Super weird, freaked me out, and have goosebumps just thinking about it again. And then there's an edit. Wanted to add, our house is pretty new, built in 2017, but the land in our neighborhood was an old farmhouse and Civil War headquarters for the Battle of Stones River. We actually have a little graveyard fenced off in our neighborhood with about 30 to 40 unmarked graves. Both slaves and soldiers were buried there based on what I've read about the history. And that, my friends, is pretty freaking creepy. Honestly, like, just imagine, like, waking up and you see, like, this person who you think is your daughter, and she just walks across the floor, walks across to the bathroom. You're just watching this happen, and she just puts her arms out, like, making, like, I guess, like a T shape is the way he explains it. She's just standing there, and hey, maybe it is your daughter, and she's just, like, sleepwalking. But then, like, you call her name multiple times, and even your son sees that, there's this little girl just standing in the room doing a T-pose, and, after you call, like, one last time really loud, like, they just disappear. It's just kind of creepy. And then you go up and you check, and your daughter's just in her bed by herself. It's all really creepy. Like, that would creep me the fuck out. I'd be like, let's go to the daughter's room and we'll sleep in there, or like bring them both to the living room and we'll just sleep out in the living room or something. You know what I mean? Like, let's just keep the lights on for the rest of the night. And yeah, I don't know what I'd do if, like, I woke up and there was somebody in my house and then they disappeared. That would be creepy. Very creepy. My family was living in a house built before 1865 in western Massachusetts. My bedroom had a door that led into another sibling's room. One night, when I woke up to go to the bathroom, when I sat up, I saw a figure standing at the end of my sister's bed. My first thought was I was seeing things, maybe some crap in my eyes, or it was all in my head. I calmly closed my eyes and rubbed them and said to myself, I'll open my eyes and look up. Whatever I thought I saw will be gone. So I finished rubbing my eyes, and there it was. I stood up saying, hey, whatever was there turned around, and I swear its expression was surprise. It moved out of view towards what would be the upstairs hallway. I went into my sister's room and it was gone. So I went out to the hallway, and there was the family dog. It was looking down the hallway, tilting its head the way confused dogs do. Never saw that again. So creepy. Just think, like, you wake up and you see someone standing at the foot of your sister's bed, and then you're like, oh, it can't be anything. Then you rub the sleep out of your eyes to think, because you think, like, maybe you're dreaming still, and then it's still there. But then, like, when you, like, yell at it, like, hey, it, like, looks at you with surprise, like, what are you doing up? And then runs away, and then even the dog saw it. I think that makes it even creepier. I feel like the creepy part is that, like, it looked in surprise, like, you weren't, like, no one was supposed to be seeing it, but then also that the dog was, like, confused as well, like, it saw something too. Ooh, man, that's the type of thing where I'm like, see, it's like, like, they, these things, sometimes these entities are just there, and it's just creepy. It's just, it makes your whole, like, spine tingle. I don't know. When I was 18, I was on my way to an after party at like 2 a.m. The roads were completely empty, and we passed a gas station that had closed at midnight. There was one single light above the pumps, and right below it stood a very elderly woman, all alone. She had no car, no visible way to have gotten there. She was wearing what looked like a Victorian nightgown. She was just fucking staring into the void. When we left the party a few hours later and drove back past the gas station, the woman was gone and the light was off. One time, I was sitting in my car in the parking lot at work, waiting for my team to arrive so we could go inside. My boss texted me asking, "Why do you keep calling me from the store and hanging up?" Confused, I immediately explained that I wasn't even in the building yet. No one was. Halloween 2018, my friends and I were hanging out in some random guy's shed, taking whatever substances he had to offer. All of our parents thought we were at each other's houses, so no one knew where we really were. As we're leaving, all of us fucked up, and yes, thinking it was smart to get behind the wheel, my friend's grandma called her. Her first words were chilling. "Are you somewhere you're not supposed to be right now?" My friend quickly lied. "No, I'm at so-and-so's house." "Why?" Her grandma, who was known to communicate with spirits and had been an EMT, said that with her voice full of concern, "I was talking to the afterlife and I asked about you. Immediately, I smelled burning bodies and heard car accident." Thankfully, we didn't get into the car. So those are a couple of stories from the same person, and honestly, I don't know about the first one. Yeah, maybe some crazy lady, just wandered out to a gas station in the middle of the night. You never know. But I think the one that scares me the most is, when like you're obviously no one is inside like the building, right? No one's in your work, no one's there yet. Your boss immediately is like, "Hey, stop calling me from the store and hanging out." To which you're like, "Nobody is in the store. I'm not in that building yet. Who's in the building that's calling you?" And then just hanging up. To me, that's even scarier, because it's like, even if it was a real person, let's just say it was someone broke in, right? And they were just in the store, and how did they get the boss's number? And if they did, why are they just calling and hanging up? Why aren't they stealing things? Like, you're doing something to let people know, to alert them that you're in the store. This is just like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, to me, that's creepy. I mean, the third one too is like a kind of a Final Destination kind of thing, where it's like, don't get in the car, or else it's gonna be a car accident. Like, the grandma, smelled burning and stuff. It's like, okay, she saved their lives, right? But I don't know. That second story, the second part, just like, to me, is what's more chilling, because it's like, what is calling? What is calling and hanging up? I don't know. Like, why would it do that? Why is it going to be annoying like that? I don't know. My house is super haunted. We have so much happen here. My husband, two kids, and I have numerous stories. I'm a police 911 dispatcher. So when all four of us started having experiences, my first thought was, we have a carbon monoxide leak. That was a logical explanation and is not the case. One, we have a mimic. This is the most active. We've all heard each other's voices calling out, saying different things. There have been times where two or three of us have heard it at the same time. The dogs hear it too. The one time it hissed in my ear was the creepiest. I felt my hair move. Two, the one I call twinkling lights. This one seems to like me the best. I'll catch twinkling lights out of the corner of my eye, but it's gone by the time I look. The whole atmosphere in the house gets really, I don't know, thick when this one appears, usually followed by an overwhelming sense of intense fear. I'm the only one that has seen this one so far, but everyone feels the change in the house at the same time. 3. Bill. He's the first owner, died in the house. He's a perv, knocks shit off the shower shelves when we're in there, likes to play pranks. We have shit disappear and reappear in the weird spots. I'm pretty sure it's Bill. And that's kind of creepy, to have like a mimic in the house. The one, like when you hear like either like your mom or dad or your sister or your brother or just someone familiar to you, even you hear your voice, and you're not supposed to like respond to it. You're not supposed to call out to it. You're not supposed to go follow it because that's what it wants you to do. It'll lure you away, and to me that's creepy. I think the twinkling light thing is kind of creepy. I don't know what it is. Obviously, like she's. I don't know what it is, but she says it gets really thick and is followed by an orange sense of fear. But she doesn't really describe it saying like that it does anything. And like all she catches are like the twinkling lights at the corner of her eye. But by the time she looks, it's gone. I don't know what that one is, and I think Bill more is a specter or some kind of apparition, some kind of like ghost maybe, because that one they're saying is more maybe like a poltergeist, that plays tricks by like knocking stuff off the shower shelves, playing different pranks by like taking things and hiding them in different spots. Yeah, and it sounds like it's really haunted. I'd like to hear more from this person, honestly, because it sounds like there's more to this than just like, oh yeah, like the mimic and the twinkling lights. It sounds like there's a bunch of things, and like she says that like they have numerous stories, and it's all 4 of them have stories. But yeah, guys, those are the scary stories that we got for this episode. What do you think about the news that we got today? Alien Earth, Psalm, maybe not happening. The third, Quiet Place. More information about Fear Street. Have you heard of any unsolved disappearances? Experienced anything unexplainable or creepy? I know I have tons of stories, and if you want to hear them, I have them on TikTok. But I'm gonna do another video of them all together collected in a YouTube video. I'm going to put that up soon. But we want to thank you all for listening. And if you like what you hear, please subscribe to every new episode and get it downloaded. Do you have any personal or fictional, paranormal, supernatural, or unexplainable stories? We'd love to read them on the podcast. Please send your stories, recommendations, or anything else to horrorboxpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to show more support, you can follow our socials on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, or check out our YouTube channel, all at Horrorbox Podcast on all sites. Also, you can buy me a coffee at coffee.com/horrorboxpodcast. It really helps out. Until next time, maybe keep a light on. This is Dom, signing off from the Horrorbox.